Good morning, students. Welcome to the live online classes. Today we are going to continue with class 6, chapter 5, agriculture, food crops and cash crops. You can refer to page number 62. Okay. Today we are going to start with fibrine crops. F-I-B-R-E, fibrine crops. Today we are going to start with fibrine crops. Now what are fibrine crops? So it's like fibrine crops are rough edges. Okay, there are rough edges which is good for clearing the stomach. Okay, when the stomach is bad. Okay, good for clearing. But now, whenever I am talking about the fibrine crops, there are other types of fibrine crops also, like cotton, okay, which is not good for clearing, okay, because you cannot consume it. So we are studying about cotton. The first fibrine crop that we are studying about is cotton. Now, cotton, if you look at cotton, is a soft, fluffy fibrine, okay. So it is a soft like wool, okay, or fur, okay. It is soft like wool or fur that grows in a bowl. That grows in a bowl. Now bowl, B-O-L-L, bowl. Bowl means rounded, okay, what we call sac or seed capsule of the plant called cotton. Now you can see the picture here. It looks like a bowl. Okay, it is a rounded sac, okay, seed capsule of the cotton plant. It is fun to make yarn. Now it is basically made into dhaga. The dhaga is spun. Spun means basically, okay, what we call, okay, turn rapidly to make a thread, okay, so that this thread can be used for weaving cloth, okay. It is fun to make yarn or thread and then woven to make cloth. It is used for a variety of purposes. For example, edible vegetable oil, okay. Now, what is edible? E-D-I-B-L-E, edible vegetable oil. Now, whenever I am talking about this edible vegetable oil, okay, I am talking cotton seed oil. It means cotton seed oil which can be used to, okay, make curry, etc. Okay. Products like soap is also made from cotton, as well as margarines is made, okay. As well as margarine is made, as well as plastic rubber is made, okay, from the cotton plants. Plastic and rubber is made from the cotton plants. There are other things also which are made from cotton plants. So what is the margarine? Margarine is similar to a food like butter, okay, made of animal or vegetable fats, okay. So margarine is made from animal, okay, is a food similar to butter. It is a food similar to butter, is known as margarine, okay, made of animal or vegetable fat. So cotton seed, okay, basically contains fat. Remember that. Now we are studying about the growing process and the conditions needed for growing cotton, okay. Now, cotton needs what kind of temperature, okay? Temperature of the cotton, it needs around 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, okay, temperature, with plenty of sunshine. It needs plenty of sunshine during the growing period. What kind of rainfall does cotton need? Okay, around 50 to 75 centimeters, okay, of rainfall. And what kind of soil does cotton need? It needs black, regular soil. Now, black regular soil is a volcanic soil, okay, is a volcanic soil or a lava soil, okay, which are found, okay, in Maharashtra as well as in Karnataka, as well as in Deccan tracts. Okay, it is found in Maharashtra, M-A-H-A, Maharashtra, okay, Karnataka, Deccan tracts. Now Deccan tracts, whenever we are talking about Deccan Deccan Plateau, we are talking about the Deccan Plateau of India, okay? So, better cotton grows on black rubber soil but may also grow on alluvium soil. Now, alluvium soil is a fertile soil. So, what kind of soil is needed? Number one, black soil. Number two is alluvial soil. A-L-U-V-I-A-L, alluvial soil, which has been brought down by the rivers from the mountain, okay? And basically deposit in the floodplains, okay? Or in the beds of the rivers. Now, the second most important point that we are going to understand is the length of the cotton. Okay, this is number one. Okay, number two, number three. Okay, and number four we are going to study. I'm going to grab the blackboard. Number four is the most important point. Okay, we are talking about the length. Length of the L-E-N-G-T-H, length of the cotton, okay? Length of the cotton fiber, okay? The quality of the textile depends on its staple length. So, whenever I am talking about the staple length, it means the length of cotton staple or fibre, okay? Or fibre. Long staple cotton is best. Now, long staple cotton, long is best. Long staple cotton is best. Whereas medium staple cotton is, okay, basically average. A-V-E-R-A-G-E, average. Whereas short staple cotton is basically coarsest or coarse. Now, if you look at these three types of cotton plant or the length of the cotton plant, you come to know that they are differentiated by the length of the plant. Okay? Long staple cotton is the best, medium is average, short is the coarsest or coarse. Okay? It makes a big difference. If you look at this thing, it makes a big difference, okay, in quality. Because why we are looking at long, short and medium is because of the quality. Quality also differs. Number one point, quality. Okay. Number 2 point, the strength of the cotton. Okay. And number 3 is the softness of the cotton. Okay. S-O-F-T, softness of the cotton plant. So these are the things which makes them, okay, different from each other. Okay. Therefore, the quality of the textile depends on its staple length. Okay. Now, we are going jute. Jute is also a fabric crop. Okay, that is the second fabric crop. Jute. Okay, this is the second fabric crop that we are studying. Okay, it is called the golden fibre. Okay, it is called the golden, G-O-L-D-E, and golden, F-I-B-R-E, fibre. Okay, 85% of the jute grows in the world today is grown in the Ganga Delta regions. Now, I am coming to that. Okay, but why it is called the golden fibre? Because it is called the golden fibre because, okay, it is the second most important, okay, this is important, okay, natural fibre after cotton. Number 1 point. Number 1 point, why it is called the golden fibre? Okay. The second point is it is profitable and exportable. Okay. And it is also exported. It is also exported to foreign countries. Okay. The third point is due to its shiny golden color. Therefore, these are the things which makes jute a golden fibre. You can read the code also. Profitable and exported. Okay, due to its shiny golden color, it is called the golden fibre. Okay. Now, it is grown in Ganga Delta region. Now, Ganga and Delta. Okay, Ganga and Ganga Delta region. Now, where is Ganga Delta region? Now, wherever you find Ganga Brahmaputra, okay, in West Bengal, this is known as Ganga Delta region. So, Ganga Brahmaputra in West Bengal state, okay, that is in India as well as Bangladesh along the Bay of Bengal. This area is a very fertile area where jute is grown. So Ganga Brahmaputra Doab region plus where you have Bangladesh, this area jute is grown plenty. Okay. Jute is a kharif crop. It's a monsoon crop. Okay, it is grown in. Okay, you can refer to page number 58 where you have geofacts where you have already studied about the kharif crop. Kharif crop is a summer crop or a monsoon crop sown in June and July and harvested in October and November. So jute is a kharif crop. It grows well in hot, humid climate. So what kind of climate does jute need? It needs hot, humid climate. Hot means temperature, high temperature, okay? Humid means when there is high temperature, there is more water vapor. So wetness in the air. That is called humidity, okay? So it is grows well in hot, humid climate. Okay? And what kind of temperature does jute need? Temperature, what kind of temperature does jute need? It needs 21 degrees Celsius to, okay, 35 degrees Celsius. Humidity, now again, we are coming to Humidity. Humidity, now wetness of the atmosphere or amount of moisture in the air. Okay? So, amount of moisture in the air happens when the temperature rises. Okay? We need what kind of humidity? 80% to 90%. Okay, unsaturated air. That is known as unsaturated air, which you will study about this in geography in class 7. Okay. Now rainfall. What kind of rainfall does it need? It needs 150 centimeter to 250 centimeters of rainfall. Very high rainfall is needed here. Okay. What kind of soil does it need? It needs fresh algal soil. That is called khadar soil. Okay. The last time only I told you the soil is known as khadar. Khadar means new algal soil. Okay, or fresh algal soil, which has been brought down by the river just now or presently. Okay, which is very very rich in fine silt, mud, clay, etc. Okay. Then we are moving on to another important point. What are the necessary things that we need? Water is needed. So it is written that in your book it is written water bodies. Okay. It needs plenty of flowing water. Okay. For wetting this fabric called jute. So we have to wet this fabric. We have to drench or soak this fabric. Okay. So extremely wet. It needs extremely wet conditions. Okay. So plenty of water is needed. Plenty of water is needed by this plant, and which is supplied by flowing water or rivers. Now, for growing jute, jute is a cash crop. It's a single crop. Therefore, it is grown in a large farm. So we need plenty of laborers. So labor needed is also plenty. So a large supply of cheap labor is needed. For growing jute. Jute is used to make gunny bags. Jute is used. Uses of jute uses are write it down. Gunny bags. Now gunny bags means bora. Have you seen bora? Chamal ka bora, etc. It is made from the jute bags. And carpets. CRPETS. Carpets is made from the jute, as well as mats, etc. is made from the jute. Now, as well as ropes is made from the jutes. Now, why? What is a gunny bag? Gunny bag is a bora or a gunny sack, or what we call toe sack also. Now, jute is a very strong material. It's very strong and durable. It can hold heavy objects. It is inexpensive and and you can create anywhere. Bangladesh and India are the main producers of jute in the world, followed by China. Now we are going to the beverage crop. beverage, beverage. No. Now what is beverage? Beverage means any liquid. any liquid which is suitable for drinking, okay, like tea, okay. Now we are studying tea. Now tea is grown as a bush. Now you can see the sentence here. Tea is grown as a bush. Okay. Now it is grown as a bush. Approximately how many? Okay, meters of height? 1 meter of height. Okay. So approximately 1 meter of height. Why? It is grown, okay, up till here only, 1 meters of height. Why? So that it is easy for plucking the leaves from the field. Okay, tea is grown as a bush, approximately 1 meter high, for ease of plucking. So it will be easy for plucking. Okay, why it is grown as a bush? For ease of plucking. Plucking means basically you are picking the 2 leaves of the tea. Tea grows on bushes which are pruned. Pruned means, underline that word prune. Prune means trimmed. It has to be cut down to size, that is 1 meter approximately. They grow well in tropical and subtropical climates. Now tropical and subtropical climates means we are talking about the latitudes. We are talking about the latitudes, that is Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. In this area we find tea is grown best. Okay. And where they are grown? In large plantations or large farms or estates. They grow well on the hilly slopes also. It is also grown in Darjeeling. It is also grown in Assam, etc. On the hilly slopes by which method? By terrace cultivation. Terrace cultivation. Now I have already explained you what is terrace cultivation last time. So you know what is terrace farming, okay? The leaves of the plants are used commercially. Now tea. Tea is grown for one single purpose. To earn profit. Profit means money. It's a cash crop. Now, after that, we are going for the processing of the tea. Okay? So I'm just going to rub this, okay, a little bit. Now, we are studying about the processing. Processing. Now, whenever we are talking about process, okay, firstly, only 2 leaves and a bud are plucked. Now I am writing on the blackboard. Firstly, only 2 leaves and a bud are plucked. We are talking about the processing. The upper leaf bud and the next 2 leaves. Okay, it is plucked by women, females, basically pluck the leaves of the tea, as it requires a large amount of care and skill. Okay, the plucked leaves lack scent, fragrance, because if you want to smell the leaves of the tea, okay, you will not find any fragrance there, any odor there, and therefore they are sent to the tea factory, okay, for treatment in order to create fragrance or aromatic scent. So we are talking about the processes. The first process in order to make the tea smell is basically withering. Withering means, okay, make dry, okay, make the leaves dry, okay, due to loss of water, okay. When it reaches the factory, the weight and amount of the leaves is basically registered or counted. After this, the withering process starts, where the humidity content of the leaves is reduced by 30%. So after being plucked, it is sent to the factory. Okay, it is sent to the factory, and the leaves are counted. Okay, Then the withering process starts. So, start of withering process. What happens in the withering process is you are taking water out from the leaves. You are reducing the content of water from the leaves. Okay, so the humidity content of the leaves is basically reduced. So, start of withering process. In this withering process, what happens? Okay, the wetness of the leaves is basically reduced by 30% in order to make them what? Soft and flexible. Okay, for another step that is known as rolling. Okay, that is known as rolling. The second step is known as rolling. R-O-L-L-I-N-G, rolling. Rolling means you are rolling the leaves. Okay. You are crushing the leaves. The withered leaves are rolled in large rolling machines, which starts to ferment the leaves. Okay, so which starts to ferment the leaves when you start rolling. What is fermentation? Fermentation means, okay, you are basically calculating the scent of the leaves and the flavor of the tea. Okay, so rolling means crushing. Crushing the leaves in order to basically extract or in order to take out the scent or flavor of the tea. Okay. The third process that starts is known as fermentation. Now fermentation means oxidation. It means oxidation, oxidation. Addition of oxygen to a compound, okay, and also tanning process. Okay, oxidation and tanning is done in the fermentation. Oxidation and tanning is done in the fermentation process, where you are basically, okay, taking out water from the leaves. Okay, so in this fermentation process, what happens is the leaves are spread on the table. So in this fermentation process, what happens is the leaves are spread on the table, okay, in layers of 10 centimeter for 2 to 3 hours. So they are spread on the table, they are kept on the table so that the leaves basically evaporate water, okay, from that. After which the leaves change their color and become copper red. Okay. Now we are doing drying. Drying is done after fermentation. Okay, as soon as the tea develops its typical scent or smell and okay, gets its color copper red, then the drying process starts. Okay, so they are basically dried in a dryer. Okay, which are basically, okay, leaves are basically kept in an, okay, what we call dryers, D-R-Y-R-E-S, dryers. Okay, which produce heat. By burning wood or oil like petroleum, kerosene, etc. So they are dried in a fire, in a furnace, where the leaves basically, okay, develops a typical smell. The last one is known as sorting, S-O-R-T-I-N-G, sorting. Now sorting means the separation of the tea leaves, okay, the separation of tea leaves. This is known as sorting. These processes are done, okay, by, okay, the factories. After this, okay, we are looking at the temperature. Now we are studying temperature required for growing tea. It is 24 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius, which is ideal or perfect for growing tea, okay. But the minimum temperature that is required for growing tea is, okay, basically 16 degrees Celsius. Higher temperatures are required in summers. The rainfall needed is, okay, 150 centimeter to 350 centimeter of rainfall, which is a very high range of rainfall. The soil needed is very, very fertile, which is rich in humus, fertile soil which is rich in humus. Now humus means organic matter, remains of plants and animals that has become the fossil, okay, or the fertile soil, okay, which is ideal for growing tea, okay. Tea requires very, very heavy rainfall, but water should not stay on the ground, that is on the roots. So it is grown in hilly areas. So it is grown in hills or by terrace cultivation. Because what happens is when the rain falls, the water will not stay or stagnant on the roots, on the ground. It will not stay here. It will overflow. Therefore, tree is grown in hilly areas by terrace cultivation. Tea picking requires plenty of labors because we have to, okay, send that tea, okay, leaves in the factory, okay, and, okay, go through various processing like withering, crushing, fermentation, drying, and also sorting of the leaves, which is generally done by women as well as male in the factories. In the world, tea is grown in the hilly areas of India, Sri Lanka, China, Kenya, Vietnam, and the African highlands. Now highlands are hills, okay. India is the largest producer, okay, or manufacturer of tea and also the seller of tea in the world. In India, the major tea growing areas in India are Assam, so Darjeeling in the West Bengal, Kerala, and also Tamil Nadu, okay. Now we are doing coffee. C-O-F-F-E-E, coffee. Now, coffee tree is a tropical evergreen shrub. So, it is a coniferous evergreen shrub, okay. Now, what is a shrub, okay? Shrub is a plant or, okay, what we call, or a bush which bears foliage throughout the year, which grows best, okay, in Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, okay. There are two important varieties, okay, of coffee. Coffee, okay, A-R-A-B-I, Arabica, okay. Coffee Arabica, okay, is, okay, has less caffeine in the coffee as well as superior in flavor, okay. Coffee Arabia, also known as Arabian coffee or coffee shrubs of Arabia, is the first species of coffee to be cultivated in the world, okay. Now, the second coffee that we are going to study is coffee Robusta. Now, coffee Robusta is, okay, a species that originates in Central and Western Sahara desert areas, okay, where you find Africa. So, it is grown in Africa. Then, small amount of coffee Liberica is also grown, okay. The third type of coffee that you find is coffee Liberica. Liberian coffee is natural coffee that is grown in Western and Central Africa, okay. So it's a Liberian coffee, okay. It is basically grown in Uganda, Liberia, Angola, Philippines, okay, as well as Indonesia and Andaman and Nicobar Islands, okay. The coffee shrub means the plant, okay, or the bush, okay, is pruned, is basically cut down, okay, to a height of about 3 meters. The height of the coffee is also very small. Small green berries appear in the season. Now berries are basically edible fruits or pulp, okay? Appears in the season and gradually they turn into a crimson red, blood red color when they basically ripen or mature or develop fully. These berries are plucked and processed. So they are also plucked and processed, whereby the flesh of the fruit is removed. The beans are roasted and then ground before packing. So, coffee beans are also plucked. They go to various processes like pulp. Now, pulp, okay? Whenever I am talking of the pulp, just I want to rub the blackboard. Now, when the coffee beans are plucked, they go to following processes like pulped, P-U-L-P-E-D, pulped or washed. The coffee cherries, now red fruit has the fruit or pulp removed, leaving the seed or bean before it is dried in the wet process. So they have to be washed. Coffee processed by wet method is called wet process coffee or wash process coffee, okay? They are basically dipped in the water, okay? And they are separated by a method, bad or unripe fruit of the coffee beans, okay, will float in the water, whereas the good fruit will sink in the water. This method is used for removing pulp from the beans. The second process that we come across is fermentation. In this process, the remainder of the pulp is removed and then washed them again with large amount of water. Fermentation can be wet and dry, okay. Then after that, okay, it is dried, okay. The coffee beans are dried in the sun or by machines. After drying, the parchment skin in dry and crumbly, okay, sorry. After drying, okay, what will happen is, okay, they separate the skin of the beans from the fruit, okay. Then they are finally roasted and grounded. Roasted means they are basically cooked by heat. And they are grounded means they are grind into powder. So whenever you are having coffee, what happens is, okay, how much is the coffee grinded? According to the grinding, okay, the coffee is, okay, fine or unrefined. So let's read this one. The objective of a proper grind is to get the most flavor in a cup of coffee. So when you are having a coffee, okay, so if there is a proper grinding, okay, then you'll have more flavor of the coffee. But if the grind is not good or unrefined, then the coffee will taste bad, okay. Now we are moving on to temperature, okay. Temperature of the coffee. So we are looking at the temperature, okay. It requires hot, humid climate. So that time only I told you, it requires hot, humid climate. Means it needs a high temperature where the content of water vapor is more, okay, with a temperature of 15 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius, okay. Coffee cannot tolerate frost. So, okay, coffee cannot be grown in cold areas where there is a freezing point. Okay, stagnant water or still water also it cannot, okay, it cannot grow in the still water also because it will spoil the coffee. And strong sunlight. What kind of rainfall it is needed? Okay, rainfall. 150 centimeter to 250 centimeters of rainfall is needed for growing coffee. Okay. And soil is red laterite soil, okay? Red laterite soil. Or we can say red sandstone soil, or it is rich in iron, clay, silt, etc. Okay. Now labor. Coffee requires plenty of labor or cheap labor for numerous stages of the processing, okay, after the coffee beans are plucked. In the world, Brazil is the world's largest coffee producers, followed by Vietnam, Colombia, Ethiopia, Indonesia, India and Uganda, okay. In India, coffee in India is grown in the Nilgiri hills in Karnataka, that is in the south, and Tamil Nadu. Okay, with this I come to the end of the chapter. Okay, chapter number 5. Okay, we have finished this chapter. Okay, hope you find this lesson useful. Thank you for listening.